welcome again to RC Fun and Games. I am Ryan, and today we've got the awesome FMS Defender 110 Camel Trophy Edition back in the garage to fit a rim and tire upgrade to see if we can make it look even more scale and of course improve the overall driving experience. Now, I am definitely not hitting this platform because this thing is awesome. So far, unboxing, ready to run, legs and bodies. Gotta say, I give it to this one. The driving experience is just phenomenal. The drivetrain is so smooth and quiet, and besides that, it's just the actual driving experience when this thing is on the edge is just really awesome. So let me stop going on about how cool this truck is and let's talk a bit about the rim and tire choice I went for. Now the rims I went for are the 1.9 from GRC. These are super heavy rims and I picked them up from my local hobby store, RC Store Algarve. So once again, if you're in the southern part of Portugal and you're looking for crawler products, definitely go and check them out. I'll leave a link in the description. And at the same time, he recommended these awesome scale trophy truck tires from Boomracing. If I'm not mistaken, these are the Gecko. So let's get into the garage. Let's see exactly what it takes to get these installed. And of course, how these tires look on these rims and on this rig, because they might be a little bit small. And if they are, I might just fit the original tires to the metal rims because I've been really impressed with the original tires that came with this truck. Now let's just have a quick look at these tires before I install them. And as you can see, they've got a really scale look. Besides that, the actual rubber is nice and thick, but super soft and sticky. And at the same time, it's got that bit of rigidity to keep the edges, which I can feel is going to give a person a really nice hookup. So definitely an impressive tire. And inside, it looks like we get a really dense foam. It's not soft, so I think this is the foam I'm going to be running with the weight of this rig. Of course, if I do notice it's too soft and I'm rolling the tire all the time, I'll probably swap out to some silicone inserts. But for now, let's test it like this and see exactly how they perform. Now, let's get these 1.9-inch rings in so we can start installing the rim. And to do this, just slowly stretch the tire over the ring until it slips inside. And then just work it slowly into the tire. Don't want to rip it. So just work your way around slowly. Once you get to about there, just make sure you work that tire so that foam goes back nicely to place, because it's quite a tight fit to get those rings in. But I can feel the quality of these tires are definitely different to anything else I've used. So I'm definitely impressed, and I think it's worth the extra few cents you pay for the name. Okay, so now that I've got that ring nicely centralized in the middle there, after working the tire really nicely, I'm going to choose which direction I want this tire to run. As you can see, they are directional. So depending on which side of the vehicle you're going to be putting them, make sure you install the rim on the right side. So for example, it's going to go on this side, so the pattern needs to face that way, and I'm going to drop the rim in from the front. Once again, just work it carefully all the way around the edge until you can get the rim to drop in. So now that I've worked its way all the way around, I can see that that line that they want on the outside of the rim is sitting there nice and symmetrical. I'm going to move around to the back side of the rim, start pushing it down. And the way these work, it's just got a beadlock, so exactly like a real beadlock rim. So now we've got to get this tire pushed in along that edge and start putting screw by screw in. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to put it flat on the table. So I'm going to start by grabbing one screw. I'm going to push down to make sure the rim and tire are joining together and throw a screw in over there. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Once again, I'm going to push down and make sure the tire goes into that groove. Okay, so this definitely requires a bit of finger strength. Make sure you've pushed it all the way around and have a good look. Make sure that bead has dropped in behind the rim. You don't want to be squeezing it in between the two. Now I'm going to throw another one in at a triangulation to make sure it starts keeping that side down. Only put a couple of turns in there. Now let's grab another screw and let's move over to roughly over here. And I'm going to stick it in here. Now before I tighten it down, I'm just going to push that. I can feel the rubber has just gone past. And tighten a few more turns. A few turns on this one. A few turns on this one. And now I'm going to start dropping the other screws in, then I'll tighten it all down. Okay, so now that I've got them all in, I'm going to start tightening at a crisscross pattern to make sure it goes down nice and flush. Okay, so I got it all assembled up, and I really want to point out that I'm very impressed with the quality of these rims and tires. I have put loads and loads of different ones together, and this combo really feels solid. There's no way that tire is going to be pulling out of there anytime soon, and besides that, the general look is so scale. I'm definitely very impressed, and I highly recommend this combo. Now the only thing left to do is to get the others assembled, and then we can throw them on the truck so we can see if this combo looks decent on this FMS Camel Trophy Defender 1. And since I've already shown you in detail exactly what it took to get these assembled, let's do these the quick way. Definitely the quickest way I know how to assemble them. Now let's get them fitted so we can see exactly what they look like on this truck. Just check how cool that looks with these rims and tires. That is awesome. Definitely added to the scale look, and in my opinion, just the right size to fill the wheel arches. They definitely a bit smaller than the original wheels, but I think that really adds to the character of this rig. Now let me get the rest fitted so we can get this thing out on the trail and see how it performs with the new tires and rims. Okay, to get the old rims and tires off, you are going to have to remove this cap, and it just screws loose. Then all we have to do is take off our nut, which is a 7mm nut. Now all we have to do is drop the new rim and tire on, throw the nut back on, and then with the metal rims, they provided these little plastic caps, and if you pay attention, you also have these little black pieces. Looks like you can drill a little hole, so you can actually put a little valve stem in there as well. Very, very scale these metal rims are. I've definitely got to say that. Now, all you got to do is screw the cap in as well, just like the original. And check that out. What a nice finish off that gives this scale truck. Now, let me quickly get this front wheel installed as well. Now that we've got everything installed, it's time to take this awesome rig out and go and test these new rims and tires to see how it performs now, and of course, how it looks on the trail. Now, if you all enjoyed this type of content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, everyone, happy trails!